Hello! Okay, this is your special New Year's lesson for all of my IELTS students and intermediate to advanced English learning students. Happy New Year! So this is going to be a sort of culture lesson. For this lesson, you will be listening to me speak. After the lesson is over, I need you to write a summary of what you heard today. If there is something you did not understand, please message me. But like I said, it's just a culture lesson today. For all of my students who are learning intermediate to advanced conversation, I will be speaking at this speed. So if it is too slow for you, you can speed up the YouTube feed. Okay, so let's get started. Happy New Year! What day do you celebrate New Year's? In the United States, New Year's is celebrated at midnight on January 1st. So you start maybe with a family gathering or a party on December 31st. And this party varies from house to house and person to person, can start from 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. and go all the way into the next day, maybe as early as 2 a.m. or even 5 a.m. in the morning. It depends on the person. There is also something we like to do on New Year's Day, some of us even before New Year's Day hits, and that is make a New Year's resolution. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit back to talking about New Year's itself before we talk about the resolutions. New Year's, again, is a national holiday. Do you know what that means? If it is a national holiday, what happens in the United States? If you said that major government buildings are closed, good. If you said schools, banks, correct. Because New Year's is a national holiday, schools, banks, post office, government buildings, annex will all be closed. But depending on the area you live, they may be open for a certain time New Year's Eve. Okay. New Year's Day and New Year's Eve are probably 2 days, we can say, put together because you start off before January 1st. You start off on the night of December 31st. Everyone should know by now what happens on New Year's Day or at the stroke of midnight. Did you understand that term, at the stroke of midnight? If you do, please write it in your summary what that means, at the stroke of midnight. During this time, loud music will sound. Confetti or cut up pieces of little glittery paper will be thrown into the air. Noisemakers are played, and everyone is having a grand celebration. Can you think of a holiday in your culture where you have a big, huge celebration like this? Okay, so now New Year's resolutions. Something we tend to do as Americans living in the United States or even in other cultures. On the day of New Year's, and sometimes even before New Year's itself, so New Year's Eve, families, friends will gather and write down goals. Even a solo person will just sit at home and write down their goals for the next year. Question for all of my learners out there. Can you think what would be the top 5 most common New Year's resolutions or goals that people would make? You can pause the video and think, and then I will tell you some of them. Okay, so New Year's resolutions. How do we ask? What's your New Year's resolution? Most people will say, and running it at number one, exercise or lose weight. Many people put this on their list as a goal, but do they follow it? Who knows? The next one would be getting organized or staying tidy. Coming in at number three is learning a new skill or hobby. Maybe picking up a guitar or the piano. After that, we have live life to the fullest. Many people decide that they want to experience everything they can in this next year coming up. So they're going to be as wonderless as possible. They're going to experience everything and be very outgoing or spontaneous. Another common but not so popular one would be to save more money and spend less. It is not always declared, I'm going to save money this year, but most people will write it. Quit smoking. If you try tobacco or any of these other products, you might write this on your list if you want to have a healthier year. Spend more time with friends and family. I usually put this on my list, but it always happens no matter what. Maybe I should stop writing it. Travel more. Again, for all the wanderlust folks or those bucket list holders, they will put this on their list. Maybe you want to see Rome. Maybe you want to visit Australia. Read more. Not very common from what I remember, but most people think that if you read more, your intellect will grow. Why don't you try it out? Okay, so those are the most common New Year's resolutions. Why don't you write down something that you would like to accomplish this new year? And remember, I would like to have a summary of what this video was about. Okay? All right, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.